Welcome to another episode of planning a group activity to celebrate a fictional character's birthday. If you're confused, this year I got really into the game Love and Deep Space, and with the help and influence of some friends, also got introduced to the concept of oshikatsu, which is when you engage in an activity celebrating your favorite idol / character, whatever you love. And I've already made 2 separate videos celebrating the birthdays of 2 other characters from the game if you're curious about what that might look like. So in early September, it was Zayne's birthday, and the girls and I were discussing what to do for this special occasion. So I'm thinking we could just buy a bunch of desserts and some boba and call it a day. None of us are pulling for his card, right? We can just keep it low-key. Yeah, agreed. No need to go too crazy since none of us main him. Okay, but what if we did something simple and baked something together? His favorite dessert is macarons.
Macarons? Simple? Aren't those super hard to bake?
I actually have a small oven at home we could use. I don't think any of us own an electric mixer though. Oh, I just asked my friend if I could borrow hers and she said it's okay.
Oh, and how about instead of regular macarons, what if we made them shaped like his Blabu from the game?
I also found these DIY decoration glasses online that we can assemble together. I think it totally suits his vibe. And I just ordered these decorative snowflake-shaped placemats. Aren't they cute? Guys, what are we doing? What happened to keeping it low-key? So what initially was supposed to be a casual, low-cost get-together had turned into a full-blown baking session / tea party sleepover. And not a single cent of it was being spent on the actual birthday banner in the game. Anyways, here's how it went. Since macarons are so notoriously difficult to bake, we decided to buy some backup macarons on the day of. Just in case, just in case things didn't turn out well. But how did the homemade macarons turn out? Well, it was hard. It definitely didn't help that in early September it's still super hot and humid in Tokyo, which are not ideal macaron baking conditions. But it was still really fun taking turns following the recipe with the girls. At one point, we realized we didn't have anything to sift the flour and powdered sugar with except for this really tiny strainer, which would have taken forever, so we had to make a quick visit to a Don Quixote and get a bigger one. And I was trying to be creative, and I wanted to try making one of the macarons seal-shaped, because seals are one of Zayne's animal motifs, so I thought it'd be cute. But it didn't hold up its shape at all, so we had some messed up looking blobs with cracking all up at the top. But you know what? They smelled incredible, and we were so excited to see the little feet of the macarons forming in the oven, even if the rest of the macarons looked a little jank. For the blue store-bought macarons, we decided to dip them in some melted white chocolate to resemble Zayne's little Blabu character and his little lab coat, and we took turns piping the royal icing onto each macaron for the little facial details. I know they don't look like professional patisserie-level decoration in terms of neatness and accuracy, but they were super cute to us, and you can tell what they're supposed to be, right? You see the resemblance, right? And after the homemade macarons cooled, we assembled the best-looking ones and added some of the leftover royal icing on top to make them look a little cuter, and to also hide some of the cracks. For a little added touch, a few of the macarons had a little bit of pear jam in the buttercream, since pears are also one of Zayne's motifs. And for our tea selection, we coincidentally found snow jasmine tea leaves from the brand Tea Pond, which was perfect because in Zayne's myth story, jasmine flowers represent his memories and the different alternate versions of the player character. So it was the perfect tea for our themed birthday party. And for our second drink, as a reference to the boba tea in Zayne's Everlasting Wish card, we all ordered some boba to sip on while we got everything else set up. Sam added some snowflake decorations and chocolate pearls to the extra little cakes she bought.
Not the time showing in the back on her phone.
Oh, shit! That's 11:37 a.m. Not p.m. We didn't start this hours ago.
Here?
Oh, yeah! That'd be cute. And after setting the table up with decorations and some fairy lights, this is how our Zayne birthday spread turned out. We were honestly really surprised and proud of how pretty everything looked once we combined all of our hard work together.
I think we cooked.
We did.
I think we get better every birthday.
And if I may say, our homemade vanilla macarons tasted way better than the ones we bought from the department store. Not saying they were perfect, but they did taste better. This was a really fun time with the gals, and to any Zayne girlies watching this, I'm sorry it's a much shorter video, but we still wanted to give him a proper celebration, so I hope we did him justice. Anyways, if you're looking for a good excuse to learn how to bake something new with your friends, or a good excuse to set up an at-home tea party, why not make it themed? Why not make it themed after a character you really like? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in whatever fandom shenanigans I get into next time.